Welcome back to the podcast, episode 6, I think. Oh my God, welcome back to the HoopDaddy show. Are you excited, Dylan?
I'm very excited.
Oh
6
my gosh.
episodes in.
It goes by fast. We've already done 6 weeks and we've continued to do it through all this stuff.
Viewers.
Yeah, so many viewers. Oh my God,
Dude, we're about to pop off.
No, but seriously, hey, one day there will be thousands of views. But for now, we are just
whoever's listening still.
So thankful for the listeners that are here and checking us out. We know who you are. We know who you are mostly. And but no, we've gotten some good feedback from people who have listened.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
The story I told about my provincials losing in the finals. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Yep.
But I've been showing it to all the friends who were on that team.
Yeah.
I was like, is this how you remember it? They're like, yeah.
They're devastated.
Yeah. I talked to my one buddy. He was like, yeah. He's like, I remember. I think he said he fouled out earlier, but he was like, yeah. Sometimes I'll be going for a run, and I'll start to feel my heart rate getting up there, and then I'll just need to push myself. I'll just think about that game and just cry a little bit, run a little bit harder.
It's just some mental
10 years
toughness.
later.
Yeah. Hey, but that's what those moments do to you, though.
They cut you deep.
They cut deep, and then when you're in that moment, it's like you don't want to go back to that, you know?
Yeah. Right. You're like, never again.
Yeah.
Never again. Why is my mic so quiet? What the?
It's good. It's definitely a good motivator. Speaking of motivation, there was this clip from Next Generation Athletics, which is a local basketball training program that I've
in Vancouver.
Yeah, that I've interacted with on Instagram and stuff, and they had this college prep program in the last few weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why you made that look, because we're not trying to go to college.
We're past college.
But
want to be college players.
Yeah.
As good as
in our dreams. But but they had this dude come through. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's something Richmond. His last name Richmond, and they had this quote or this video, and it was called DIQ. Was the acronym for defensive intensity something quote, right? And I reposted it, and I just got so hyped from it because even though I'm not trying to do anything pro, when I'm just on the court, I think about this where it's you want to be. They were talking about defensive intensity, right? And you're okay, on defense, you don't have to be the best player on offense. Everyone can cross someone up eventually, you know?
Yeah.
But if you can be the best player's worst nightmare on the court, then that's that feels good. To me, that feels good.
Yeah.
Anytime we're on the court and there's one guy who's popping off and I'm okay, let me switch on him. Let me get him. I'm going to lock him up, and you become your court's best player's worst nightmare. And that just I was oh, that's motivating as hell. And I think this guy's a preacher too, so he's got this great voice. He's
charisma.
Charisma. He just knows how to get to you. And so yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I think I did see that video. It was pretty sorry, just 1 second here, I'm just figuring out. But yeah, I think I did see that video, and he got me hyped too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about that, but then it's hard. If you want to be put up 20 points a game or be the scorer,
yeah,
so you can't really be both unless you're as good as LeBron. But you could definitely be a Patrick Beverley and find a spot. If your goal is to play the next level, that's almost a way to guarantee that you will.
It's all about that hustle, that intensity, the defense, going for rebounds, blocking out, whatever it is, and No, and I think that's the point. It's you're not. I think that's the point where he's coming from is don't focus on being the best shooter, offensive scorer, whatever. Just go for the best player's weaknesses and make him look bad, and then you'll look good. Right.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that. But there's also I don't know, playing at the court and stuff. I'm not going to be that guy. I know maybe that'll
because you can drop a nice little jumper, you know, for people like me.
No, you got
with a bit less of a soft touch. No. Sure, I get buckets, but sometimes if I'm just not hitting, then like I'm like, okay, let me
lock it down.
And
then and it's a lot of energy and whatever. But
a lot of energy. Yeah.
But it does feel nice to play with someone like that.
Right.
Like there's nothing better than having that guy on your team.
Right.
Because he does so much that you don't even realize.
Exactly.
And it's just nice. You get like some offensive rebounds. They feed you the ball. Like you're usually getting a board. Like, you know what I mean? It's nice, especially if you're another guy who's boxing out.
Mm-hmm.
Something worse than being one guy who boxes out and then you're just like going for a rebound around 3.
Yeah.
Offensive players. That's dope though. We should. So did you see King Handles was doing he's been doing like these workshops on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday. It's like I think it's like $20 or $40 drop in, and you like come and do like a workout with him.
Oh yeah.
And he has like a bunch of kids that he brings out or whatever.
Right.
I was thinking too, once we have a bit more free time, we should try to drop in and just like film it and do it for fun, just to see like where we're at.
Us with some 15-year-olds.
Dude, why not? We'll do for the content.
Get chopped up.
You get chopped up, but it's all socially distanced, and
no,
it's just
I
like.
know, yeah.
It'd just be fun to work on like some handling drills and. Oh,
Marco bumped into King Handle, or you did too.
I didn't. It was Marco. It was just Hannah.
It was just them two. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. And he was like, they said hello and HoopDaddy, blah blah blah, and
yeah, exactly. Because I think Hannah is a dancer.
Yeah.
And so she knows King Handles from dancing somehow. Sure. And she told me it was so funny. She was like, yeah, whenever I see him, I'm like, yo, like Joey, what's up? Blah blah. And he's always like, Hannah. Because he was like what he associates like with her, and then
and she's like,
yeah. I was like, next time you should just go like, Joey,
for real. That's so funny.
But yeah, it's a small community out here.
No, for sure, and
it'd be fun to get us to like get someone go film it, and then we can like, I don't know. But it'll be us being idiots or whatever.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like film what? Like
film the workout.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
with him and get sauced up or whatever. Yeah, see how trash we are.
We will. So we shall see. Mm-hmm. But especially right now, I'm a little rusty. But
yeah, man. Are you gonna or sometimes when you like take a lot of time off and then you come back, you're like, wow, this is easy. Like I'm good because you're like really rested. You know what I mean?
Dude, I hope so. I hope that'd be great.
It could be one of those days.
That'd be excellent. It could be. We'll see. Yeah. I did stop by the court last week, like, because I had to drive the car around. My car died, and so I had to drive it around. I was like, I had the ball in my trunk that I leave, and I was like, let me just stop by Queenie and like put up a couple shots for like 10 minutes.
It was bad.
Rough. It was rough. In my mind, I was like, just became a twin dad, like got all this inspiration, all this energy. I'm gonna just have a sick jumper, and then like no, but that's okay. It was still nice to just get out there for like 10 minutes and mess around a little bit.
Just throw up some bricks.
Yeah, just feel the basketball, concrete.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's dope.
And that I saw that hoop that got destroyed.
Yeah,
it's like hanging off. There's like a hoop at our local court, and I think it was like there's only like one bolt, so then it like came off and it's just hanging by one bolt. It seems pretty dangerous. Like
it's gotten worse.
If it falls down, like it's gonna hurt somebody.
They put some caution tape up around it, I think.
Oh yeah. I didn't even see that.
But yeah, I don't know what happened. Someone tried to dunk on it, I think, and it fell off. And they probably
tried to dunk on it.
Yeah.
Sick, dude. Yeah, we have an art piece coming.
Yeah, what did you think?
HoopDaddy art. I think it's great.
It looks awesome. I thought, hey,
dude, Elliot killing it. I mean, I was like definitely like it's not so realistic, I was like, that's obviously Dylan there.
Yeah. It was supposed to be.
No, but it looks like fun, and I sent her some reference pictures today.
Nice. So. She was asking me. She was like, "Did you show Matisse the photo?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah," because he sent like really specific photos in relation, right?
Right.
You're like looking up or something.
Trying to be like, whoa, yeah.
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 Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm excited. I think it'll be awesome.
Dude, it'll be great. Dude, it's great to have the support,
Yeah, we're doing it. I got a lot of good ideas. Okay, so I got something to tell you. So yeah, I went to the park the other day and we were playing.
Yeah.
And I did the up and under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the up and under is where you get the ball in like the low post or whatever. You drive into the paint, and you hit them with the pump fake up, and then they jump, and then you pivot. You stay on your left pivot foot, and then you step around them as they're jumping, and then you go for like a layup, like a closer shot. So it's up and then under the defender.
Yeah.
But then not many people understand the footwork with it. So when you do it, you stand up, and then you step through with your pivot, and then you jump off 2 and or 1 foot. Okay, so you lift your pivot foot up.
Yeah.
Right? And then
this is where it gets tricky.
And then you can get a layup.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree.
And so people always think that because you lift your pivot foot up as you step through, that is a travel immediately. But
it's like if you're taking a layup,
exactly.
you're gonna take your 2 steps, and then that ends up being not your pivot foot. I think where I've been, because it's all over TikTok and Instagram, like everyone's seen it. Like it's all about these like travel or nots or whatever, and so my question is there an in motion, like, because usually you do that and you're like in motion pretty much, like you're not stopping for too long, because once you stop on your pivot foot and you're not like in motion anymore, you're not really allowed to come off of your pivot foot. No,
you can,
to
shoot or pass the ball,
even if it's just coming off the 1 foot.
Yeah, you can't, like, I remember when we had that. Yeah, you can. Basically, you can. You're allowed to take off your pivot foot and then pass or shoot.
Right.
But you can't take your pivot foot off and then just stand on one leg. That is a travel. It has to be like in motion.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
You can't just be like a flamingo up there with like your foot.
Like the one clip I have where it's like.
So that because you came to a complete stop in motion, like you said.
Right.
Then you're basically walking, so it's not legal. From my research is what I understand.
Right. If I would have just jumped, I could have done the same thing, but come off of it quicker, basically.
Because there's another move that you can do. So I was playing in the park, and everyone was like, travel. Like there's like whatever, a bunch of people there, and they were like, oh, I was like, you guys, I was like, literally, every one of you are wrong. You know what I mean? But it's hard to do that. Well, to be the one person be like, no.
When everyone's against you.
Exactly. And then so I was like, they were like, even guys in your own team think it was a travel. I was like, that doesn't matter. It's like not the correct. It doesn't. It's like not correct. So then whatever. I was like, whatever. We don't. It's not a big deal. And then I looked it up after. I was like, I got to get to the bottom of this so I can stand on 2 feet solidly when I to stand up to these park hoopers. And then another guy went and looked it up. He's like, yeah, you were right. And I was like, yeah, I am right. So we got to make it. So my point is, we got to make a TikTok of this, because I guarantee it will, in my mind, I'm like, it will go viral because it will be so controversial.
And people will still be like,
no. So we're like, no, but do.
So go
ahead.
No, I mean, no, for sure, because everyone's going to be like, have their own opinion and whatever. And we can even do one just purely just showing the move, and then have like a secondary one where we actually show the NBA rule book.
Yes, that's what I want. Oh, yeah. So what I did is I looked up the rules, I screen capped it, and then I've highlighted it on my phone. So I'm gonna whip it out. Anyone calls me out, I'll be like,
these are the rules.
I was like, look at this. Get your glasses out.
For real.
It was so frustrating because I'm like, it's like when you feel that you are.
You're like, look, I have it tattooed on me. The rules are right here.
Okay. But so then there's another rule that people, like, when you slow it down, they'll be like, oh, that's a travel or whatever. But basically it's the spinning fadeaway. So if you come in the low post and you have your back facing to the hoop, to the defender.
Yeah.
And you're pivoting on your left foot, right?
Sure.
Okay. So you're pivoting, and then instead of going right, so you pivot to your right, you face the basket, right? Mm-hmm. And you shoot, and that's on your left foot. But you can actually pivot
off your right.
You can pivot, so you're still on your left foot, but you're pivoting to your back shoulder. So you can pivot to your back shoulder, step on your right foot.
Yeah, and then come off.
And
it's like
jump.
Kobe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're lifting your pivot foot and shooting.
Right.
It's the exact same concept, right? But people are like, oh, you lifted your pivot foot and you jumped off your right leg. As long as you shoot or pass the ball before that pivot foot, the left foot touches the ground again. No travel.
It's all good, yeah.
It's all good. And same with Dirk Nowitzki used to do that. He just jumps off one leg. He's lifting his pivot foot all the time. Like,
heated.
I was steaming. I wasn't steaming. I was just like frustrated, you know?
Yeah.
Because you just like pull.
Well, it's tough when you're the only one who's backing yourself. Like no one's backing you basically.
Yeah. But then also, this goes viral, people can, learn get a new trick in their bag.
No,
a new move, so they can stop getting blocked when they just like bloop, and then they can just go, oh.
No, not to mention all the other actual travels that happen and then people get away with,
Yeah.
But have you seen that other one where he kind of like, it's like a Euro style, not like Euro amount of steps, so you're like gathering and then doing the 1-2, but you
jump on the same foot, right?
Same
Okay,
same footwork as a Euro, but you're not, it's not about the side to side. It's like you gather, hop, and then fake like 1, 2. So on the first one you would gather, take that step, and then fake, like he kind of like jumps up and fakes like he's gonna shoot, but then lands again and then like lays it up. So it feels like that first attempt is supposed to be the, like, imagine coming up for a Euro.
Okay.
And you're like coming, gather,
so
step
one on your left or whatever. Yeah.
Gather on your left, come to your right, and then like shoot, pretend to shoot, fake it when you're coming up
on one foot.
On one foot, come down, and then you lay it up after that. Because you have the gather 1, 2, right?
Yeah.
So it's like gather 1, up, down, lay, but it feels like.
Oh, I see.
I need to show you. You guys see the video, and it's like.
What is it? What is it? Does it have a name for the move?
It's supposed to be legal. It looks not legal, but it is like.
Oh, it was like what TikTok guy.
It was a TikTok one.
Yeah, I see.
And he's kind of like brings it around his back as the gather, which kind of throws you off. And then he like fakes up and then lands again and then lays it in. And it's like.
So does he land?
It seems like so many steps, but it really is just a gather 1, 2.
So he gathers, puts it on his back, and then he jumps onto his right foot. Okay.
Right.
And then he fakes up. But does his left foot touch the ground yet?
No.
It's like he fakes with the 1, and then he
lands
comes
on his left.
Oh, so 1. And then
drops it in.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Which is fine.
Totally
like
fine,
it is, but it looks really weird because he's done the like gather behind the back, the leg fake, and then like it seems like a lot, but it's
right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it gets tricky.
It gets tricky, and yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I've watched so many videos recently on like these YouTube. Like obviously we're in Vancouver, Canada, and we're much more Canadian here.
I don't know.
Like in our like we're pretty like it's pretty chill. Like everyone's pretty kind for the most part.
Sure, yeah.
It's not anyone who's being obnoxious and rude.
Right.
But then you watch some YouTube videos and these guys go to like these different parks or whatever in various places, and it's just like people are like ready to throw hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over like missed calls or like whatever. Like, have you been watching any Nick Briz videos? He's really blowing up right now.
Yeah.
The guy is so funny. It's insane.
It's so funny, dude.
His videos, it's like he won't post a video that isn't like super like controversial. Like there needs to be some sort of like fight. It's like, like Devontae Freakas is very like positive. Like you can get what you want, like work really hard, stay positive, blah, blah, blah.
He's just like,
it's the opposite. He's like, he's just like, we're out.
Rare.
It's like, we're out here. We're going to like find some people to like fight with. Yeah. Basically. We're out here. We're looking for people who want the smoke.
Yeah,
we want all the smoke.
Yeah,
for
real.
And
that's so funny.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
It's content. It's entertainment.
Yeah, it's entertainment for sure. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so funny because there's just so many people clowning.
But you wonder, like, go to the wrong park, somewhere in the U.S. and you might not be posting a video or many more after that. I don't know.
I watched one and there was like, "Yo, man, we got sticks out here," and I was like, "Huh?" I was
not talking about wood.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I didn't know what sticks were. I was like, what are sticks?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Okay. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that then.
Yeah. You can have the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah. But I've been enjoying his content lately, and yeah. I don't know. I want to make that TikTok for sure because I know it'll blow up, and I know it's like.
Let's do it. Dude, I got a lot of TikTok ideas that I've been stocking up on. And realizing that we need to like reply to comments that we got from our viral video. Like even today we could do it, like the one where like they're about to throw, like the throw hands, like do that one and we're throwing hands. So we could just like do it where I throw it and then we like pretend to fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
If you do that, we're throwing right. You can have the comment.
Exactly.
Nice. Nice.
We can try and get a few today and whatever, but I have more ideas. Like baby ideas now. Like can use the stroller as like a ball rack, and like when ball is basically like Ball is Life, but you're a dad series. So it's like you bring like your stroller, and then that's like the ball rack. So there's like all the balls using the stroller, or like
the money ball is the baby.
Yeah. No, but seriously, bring like a fake baby,
that
and then
would be
like
so funny.
Or like you hit a shot and like Selly, and then like the baby wakes up, and you're like, yeah.
You hit like a sick move, and then everyone's like, oh!
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, that's hilarious. Oh,
but
man.
no, a bunch of stuff like that.
Ball, I like that one. Ball is Life.
But
when you're a dad,
yeah,
that's a great series.
And there's like so many.
There's so many. I actually was at the park the other day, and there's a guy there, same situation.
Yeah, brought his kid.
He brought a young girl.
Okay.
Was bored as shit on the bench, like looking at her iPad.
Yeah.
And then like, Dad's like, I'll play one more. He's like, Dad, no. Like, I'm like,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was like, oh, I should give him a tease out here, and then they could just hang out. These two kids.
True.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm trying to think about how I could get these twins out there. Leave them in the stroller. Such is just not good parenting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's neglectful parenting, but I'm sure people have done worse.
Yeah, and we won't compare ourselves to that. But yeah, dude. There's so much content to be made, and I'm ready. The summer's gonna be lit.
Summertime.
So yeah,
and I was thinking we should make some music as well.
Let's try it.
Comment if you want to hear some beats and some.
Comment if you want to hear Dylan
spit some game.
Talk
your shit.
Sing a hook.
Sing a hook.
I want to hear Dylan singing a hook.
HoopDaddy. We are HoopDaddy.
Nice.
Yeah, man. What have you been following the NBA at all? Watching any games?
A little bit here and there. Little Raptors. Little.
Kevin Durant came back. Oh!
Kevin Durant came. There's a few things actually we can talk about.
Did you hear about? Did you see? So Norman Powell's on the
Portland.
And did you hear he's a free agent after the season?
Oh yeah.
And I was just reading this article talking about how it's so hard to get free agents to stay in Portland, right?
Oh really?
And whatever, basically anywhere that's not
just
LA
it's
or
like
New York.
Not nice place, yeah. Well, it's not nice, but I know what you mean.
You're gonna get some comments from all the Portland haters.
No, but
Portland's nice. But
Portland is nice, but it's like you rather be in
players don't want to
rather be in Miami or whatever.
And they want him so bad that when he they flew him out when he got traded on a private jet. They had all his favorite treats waiting for him at his 5-star hotel that he was staying at.
Yeah.
They had a guy pick him up, a private driver pick him up in a limo.
Right.
Driving the thing, had all his whatever donuts.
The whole nines.
Yeah. And then they just been giving him whatever he needs for him and his family or whatever. It's just they're just hooking it up because they're please stay in Portland.
I mean, I think he's a good fit for
Portland,
is a good fit. And I think he's got the right attitude. If they can give him a good deal, a good payday,
I was actually watching one of the games with him, and it was CJ McCollum and Dame, and I actually felt like Dame wasn't doing that excellent of a job of distributing the ball. He was kind of taking these whack step back threes and stuff, and in clutch moments, and I was I think he actually needed to get Norm more involved because he's I think he's a really good offensive scorer, but he just underrated. It's not he doesn't. It's one is Dame, two is CJ, and then he's not really gonna get that many looks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To create his own offense or to give coaches.
No,
are
he's just
drop
there to catch and shoot, basically.
Catch and shoot, and maybe hit a couple dunks and drive, right? Whereas Dame's getting guarded by the best players, and then it kind of leaves Norm some space to create his own shot, but they're not really giving it to him as much because he's not seen as the number one guy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting to see because I think he's a good player, but it's interesting how some of these players they just are 6-man entire career.
Even in Toronto, he was like that.
I know. Yeah. But then
except
somehow
for injuries,
But sometimes he would pop off and get 39 points in a game. You're whoa. Okay.
When Lowry and Siakam and whatever weren't playing or VanVleet, then he would be able to step up.
Yeah.
But the Raptors, I mean, it's not looking great right now. You know, I'm wearing the jersey, but
T-Mac.
you know, I stay strong with the Raptors. Obviously, it's like our Canadian team, but it's looking a bit rough. I don't think they're going to make it. They're trying to make it for like one of the play-in spots. Have you heard of the the play-in tournament?
Yeah.
So they're looking to get into one of those play-in spots, but they really need to be consistent, and they're just like ridden with injuries. Like they've just gotten Anunoby back and Van Vliet and Kyle, but still waiting for Van Vliet
right.
Or maybe he was back, but Gary Trent and I don't know. Anyways,
I like Gary Trent though.
Yeah, no, me too. And I think it's good. He's getting a bigger opportunity there.
He'll be a good fit there.
Another team that I was going to talk about is the Phoenix Suns, who just clinched their first playoff spot last night in 11 years.
Oh wow!
Since 11
Steve
years,
Nash?
Probably. Yeah. And so that's like awesome to see because Devin Booker's, sixth, I think it's his 6th year in the league, and he's been developing really beautifully. And they just got CP3 in the off season, and he's he's the attitude changer, the game changer. He just was able to carry that team past a certain amount of wins, and it's great. I just think it's great for the league. It's great to see them near the top and in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like Devin Booker a lot, and I like CP3 a lot too.
Yeah,
and they just gotta
stay healthy, and they can have a chance. I don't know if they're championship material, but like,
who do you think is?
I mean, I think once LeBron comes back and AD, like LA for again? Sure.
They're on like a 6-game losing streak though.
It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, but LeBron's not playing. Like,
right.
what can you do? Like,
live by the LeBron.
If they do, then LA obviously they have a chance, and then Brooklyn is obviously one of the favorites. They're just they're unstoppable.
They're sick. Easy money sniper, dude.
I don't know if Utah is at the top, but I just don't know if they.
I don't think they.
It's just this weird thing that like. Even, Shaq has said it, like, he just doesn't think they have what it takes to get to that next level. And I slightly agree. I don't know. It's so hard to say because, like, they obviously can win games, but, like, can they handle the moment, Like,
and I feel like they don't really have that, like, star player to like...
Oh, Donovan Mitchell, isn't he injured?
I don't know. But they don't have that star player, like a LeBron that's going to, like, clutch up.
Right.
As I pulled up their score.
154.
First in Western Conference, 154 to 105.
Holy shit. But check the stats. Was Donovan Mitchell playing? Go Should be. With numbers like that, for sure.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, it's a tough one, like, you obviously want to see those guys succeed. Let me see here.
Oh, here we go, players. Donovan Mitchell, PG.
Here, I got it. I want too bad about Murray on the Denver Nuggets. He got injured.
Oh,
his
man.
like knee, something tore his ACL or something. He's out for the season.
That's awful.
Ugh, they were on such a good run, and like just
Jamal's Canadian too.
My guy, Canadian.
A
lot of good Canadian players right now.
They're all coming out of the East Coast, though.
Another team that I think, won't win a championship this year, but will create problems for teams that want to, is the New York Knicks, because they were on like an 8-game winning streak. They lost one, and now they won their last game. And it's just fun. Like, that team is like fun to watch, honestly. I don't know if you've seen any of their games, but like Julius Randle is like on fire.
It's popping off.
Barrett, you got like the young guys, Obi Toppin, and then like sort of they're just playing like a good team,
Yeah, I like Randle and RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett's Canadian too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Canadian kids in the league.
I know.
Like, dude. Starting too.
Yeah, like
just awesome.
Good talented players. And who was it? I think someone. Oh yeah, he plays on Golden State right now. He was a first pick like 6 years ago.
Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
I think he hit 10,000 career points. He's like the first Canadian-born player to do that. Oh, wow. Because Steve Nash is South African, actually. Born, but he's Canadian.
In Victoria, right. That's crazy.
So, yeah, that was pretty dope. It's great to see,
Yeah, man.
Vancouver.
Awesome.
Not Vancouver, but Canada.
It's so funny. They're all from Toronto
East
or like
Coast,
Scarborough.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get like big chances, and it's bigger cities, right? Kind of. Yeah. You have more chance out there.
Well, I think they just have a good system out there. Like they're funneling the talent. And then there's some high school called, I think it's called Orange High School or something. It's something orange, but they basically are like a basketball prep school.
Right.
So they'll go to the States and play all the top high schools, and then a lot of NCAA will just like look at that high school for like top tier prospects.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, and this one player on Brooklyn, because how does Brooklyn keep doing it? I don't know. I mean, I guess LaMarcus Aldridge was out, so then they picked up another player. This guy, James. He's like one of the best players in the European circuit. I think he's American, but he's been playing in Europe, and apparently everyone was like, why aren't you playing in the NBA like for so long? And then he finally got his chance, and he's just like
on the best team in the league.
Just gets a chance to join the Brooklyn Nets, and like I think Steve Nash recruited him, and like
is that right?
And because they knew about him, and he was supposed to be one of the best players in Europe, and made his debut like a couple of weeks ago, and just like fits right into their system. He's got such a nice touch on the ball, like seeing a player like that with that European style sort of come out and just do his thing and like fit in. I mean, it looks it's pretty fun to watch, and he has some different moves, sort of different style that you don't see that much in the NBA.
Do you know what his name is? Chris Chiosa?
No. Something James. Mike James.
This guy.
Yeah.
He's a point guard?
Yeah. 6'1", he's a small guy. Like he's very unassuming. And he's just like where does it say his nationality? Up top?
No.
Yeah, so I think he's American. Like went to college here.
Right.
Played in Europe.
It's crazy how
and he's just coming off the bench and just like doing his thing.
It's crazy how much talent there is, and like how talent gets like overlooked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and it's like actually I think it's like when you think about like all the professional sports. So how many players are on a roster on an NBA team?
15.
15.
Well,
15
18?
15 to 18, I think.
Yeah.
And that's like not very many players. Do you know what I mean?
No. There's only 450 players like in the league at once. There's only ever been 4,500 players ever, I think, or something like that.
Something great. That's so small.
And like I said a couple weeks ago or last week, like someone like this, like he's 6'1". Like, think about all the talent that is that height that will never get a chance in the NBA purely because of their height.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. And like, because just when you compare it to like the other sports like hockey or NFL or MLB or soccer, even like you have more of an opportunity because there's more people on the
How
court.
many on a hockey roster?
Like at least 20 something.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. There's 15 players, and then like
how many do they usually like rotate in a game though? Like actually, because in the NBA it's like 8 is sort of the average for like how many you're actually going to play in a
exactly.
game.
That's what I mean.
But for the NHL, like everyone, actually playing like everyone, or you're playing like
everyone gets played. Like there's basically 4 lines of 3 forwards. Then there's usually 3 pairs of 2.
So you're like actually using the whole roster every game. It's not like
everyone suits up.
It's not like just we have a bench that comes on if there's injuries or whatever. Like
because people need breaks and stuff. So you might put the 4th line out there.
Right.
Which they'll play 1 shift a period.
Right. Like they won't play as much, but they will still come out.
They'll go, yeah. But they might not play in a game if it's close or whatever, but they'll get in there every once in a while.
Right.
And sometimes they're, because it's like an energy boost, right? They're just been sitting on the bench.
Whereas some guys in the NBA, like they'll be sitting on the bench getting paid whatever, a couple $100,000 and never see the court in a whole year.
That's crazy.
Maybe like a minute at the end of a couple of games or whatever. You know? Couple blowouts.
to hold the ball as they turn over it.
And then they're playing like as hard as they can too.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's like, it's so competitive. I actually didn't realize. I feel like it might be the hardest sport to.
Well, and then baseball, like you got like
80 players. Yeah.
It's so like many. So much.
And NFL, you have like 65 or something.
Right.
So, yeah, there's way more space to be carried, like, and be playing too, right? Especially with injuries and stuff. But NBA, it's like you got guys that just never get injured and just play 48 minutes a game.
Do you think that in baseball, like, because it feels like you have more of a chance to go into, like, from my naive eye, like, baseball players aren't always athletic. They're not always this or that. Like, do you think that if anyone decided at, 16 years old, like, I want to play baseball, you still have to play it every day and be completely in it. Yeah. But that you can, like, make it to the majors, like...
I don't know.
Or do you think that there's just that much more, more people, though?
I think
trying to get there, too. Like, because, you're saying it's so competitive for the NBA, but is there even more people trying to make it to the MLB because... You don't have to be 7 foot and super athletic.
I think that's the case. I think there is a wider scope, and I also think that the timelines are a lot different. Like NBA, it's basically you're like a star high school player, and either you go straight into the league if you're like a LeBron, Kobe, or you go play 1 year at a Div 1 school, pop off, and then you get drafted, and then you're in the league, and you're like playing. That's like the timeline. So you're in the league by like 1920. Right. Whereas like MLB, it's like you're a top athlete. You might go play college. You might go play in like Mexico or something.
It's like a slower grind.
Yeah, and then you'll get drafted. I think there's like 80 rounds of drafting or something absurd. Like there's an absurd
just because there's so many players.
There's so many
spots that need to be filled,
and there's so many like the farm system is huge, right? There's like 5 leagues of farm teams. Right. So sometimes people will play like single A.
10 years under, and then like when they're 30 get called up or something.
Exactly, and then be really good. Right. But then sometimes people have that fast track. But from what I've understood is that you get drafted, you're like a top tier prospect. You're going to develop in the minor leagues for a little bit, for 1 or 2 years. So you say you're about 20-ish now, then you're going to get called up to like AAA, and you're going to see how you do there. Right. And if you don't excel right away, you might stay there for 2 or 3 years. And then they want to call you up to the major leagues at like 24, 25, and 26. You're like late 20s by the time you're like an everyday player.
But you can still play up until you're 40 easily.
Yeah.
Most guys, unless you have injuries or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the timeline a little bit. So it becomes a bit different in regard. Like you're not going to be an all like everyday player.
What do you think sets, like, when you're having success in AAAs or whatever, like, what do you think sets those players apart? Is it the ones who are hitting really well? Is it the ones who just have one specific skill that they're really good at? Because like it's such a range of types of players in the league too, where it's like you're either a pitcher or maybe you're just like, because an outfielder, like they probably have to just be really good at batting, right? To get
Yeah, I think so. I think it's I don't know. I feel like when you get to those top tiers of physical athletic ability, it becomes I think it becomes very mental. Right. Like, so if you're an all-star in the MLB, you're basically batting 300, which is 3 out of 10 times you go to bat, you get a hit. Right. And so 7 out of 10 times you're failing. Like you're not hitting the ball. Yeah. Which is when like you say it out loud, it seems like a lot. It's a lot, right? But you're an all-star if you're hitting. Right. It's
even like basketball players. It's like the best players are hitting only 50% from three, or like the best 3-point percentage right now is like 51% or something. Yeah. Which is doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you go out there, you're like, I hit like 10%, 1 out of 100, like 1%. But so I think it's I think when you get to that level, and because baseball is such a mental game too, I think the only thing that like everyone has the physical and athletic ability at that level, and what separates people is like just the mental capabilities
Right.
of being able to understand the game better, being able to put more preparation in, having confidence. Like it all becomes fine tuning that level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the top tier for almost all the any athletic sport, or really.
Sure.
I don't know, if you reach the top tier in anything, it becomes quite a mental game, you know?
Right.
Right? Because if you're batting 200 versus 300, like 200 you're in the minor leagues, 300 you're in the pros. So like, what's the difference? Like, it's because you can swing the bat better. It's because you can whatever. It's like
it comes down to batting, basically. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like people got to work on that side of the game. I think at that point.
Man, I briefly watched like I think it was like the Jays versus the Rays.
Right.
Like last
the
week.
other day.
And there was just they missed like there was like 2 or 3 fly balls, like foul balls.
Yeah.
And like they just missed the cat like completely, you know, caught it and just fell out.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 times that happened in like one inning, and I'm like, how is that how is that possible? Like, come on.
I know.
Like, it's literally coming at you, but I guess, I don't know, it's harder than I think, but
it is, and it shows you just how hard the game is.
I'm like,
you know?
dang, like,
the
you
people at the
top
top yeah, people at the top level are still like making those mistakes. It just shows you like how difficult it truly is.
Yeah,
man. Shit.
Yeah. Anything else? What's up?
I don't know. That's really. I'm feeling a little bit. I'm feeling the sauce.
Feeling the sauce? Feeling that juice? It's good.
I actually just saw this meme the other day, and I thought of you. And it was like, I just heard my partner singing a lullaby to my daughter asleep. The lullaby was "Buy You a Drink" by T-Pain.
I'ma buy you a drink.
Shorty, what you think about that?
I'm in the gray Cadillac.
We in the bed now.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was like, good to see Matisse. Just, I'm buying
No, but that's funny you say that, because it's like a lot of rocking the babies right now, like to settle them or get them to sleep or whatever it is. And so like sometimes if I'm watching the game, or if like I'm listening to like a video or just music or whatever, when I'm with them, like you tend to like get into this rhythm, like, and sometimes when there's like a good beat on or like good music, you're like, you get into it, and then you're like, okay, just ride the beat, you know, like you're just holding the baby and you're just like sort of riding it, and it makes it more fun.
That's so funny. That's awesome. I was me and Marco and Hannah and Elliot, we were playing some music the other day, and Hannah got Marco a cajon. You know,
nice. I've seen it. Yeah.
And so we were jamming out, we were making some music, and I was playing guitar, and we were all singing and whatever.
And Elliot's a dope singer.
Elliot's a great singer. And then
what about Hannah?
Yeah, she's good too.
Nice.
Yeah, but so we were playing, right? And then Hannah was on the cajon, and I was like, I always forget, because Hannah's like a really good dancer and tapper, that she's like rhythmical, exactly, right? And then I was laughing because I was telling her, I was like, we were jamming out, we were making the song or whatever, and then Marco was like, oh, let me get on the cajon, and Hannah was like, okay, you can, but you have to keep like a steady beat, like you have to.
And Marco's got some rhythm.
But like I just forgot that. No. Sometimes when I think about tappers and like tap dancers, I think that like, oh yeah, they have rhythm, but it's just like only in their feet. Like somehow it doesn't translate to like hand movement. And then it reminded me of when we were making a beat with Liam like years ago, and we had this little thing, we were trying to like get this right rhythm down or whatever, and me and him kept fucking it up. Right. And you're like, guys, give me a chance or whatever, and you're just like boom chicka boom boom catch.
Just the right tempo. It's in me.
You just stepped on it, and I was like, oh right, I forgot. Like,
yep.
I forget. Like, how do you think that it translates to? Like, do you think you could just get on a drum kit and like bust out some rhythms because you have like this tap beat?
This is where it is. This is like this is where the separation is. So yes, like I can do like a simple beat with my hands or with other parts of my body, like. But obviously my feet are going to be more mobile and like more sort of fluid with motion, and I know where to find different rhythms and spots. So like with my hand, put me on a cajon, I can do like a simple boom, you know, whatever it is. I'm not necessarily gonna have the exact range of motion as I do like with my feet. And then like a drum set is another thing, because like drummers know exactly like the feel of the drum set. They know like what sound is on what part of the drum. Like I don't know all that. You know, I know my tap shoes and where the sounds can come from.
Right.
I don't know where all the sounds come from a drum set. So yes, I can pick up sticks and just do it.
And be better than like 90% of people.
Yeah, better than you, but partly because I've done it in the past a little bit, but also because I have the rhythmical sense and the timing is in me, but I'm not going to be able to like shred the drum set because I just don't practice. I don't have the techniques. I don't know how, like sometimes drummers, they're making like these sick rhythms, but it's because they know what to hit at what time to make that happen. I could like guess what it is, but it's just not going to turn out the same, but it'll still sound like pretty good.
But I think what you do have is that you have like an inherent sense of timing and understanding like different types of rhythms. Right. Which is like, because like a lot of drummers start with like a rhythm book and they'll be like one, two, three, four, or just like a drum pad. It'll be like 1E and a 2E and a 3, 4, and whatever. Right. So you've like built
I can do like a samba rhythm, an offbeat, like
you understand rhythm at like the musical level. How you apply to different instruments doesn't really it will change, but you have that base level. I'm just like scrubbing it up. Me and Mark are scrubbing it up. I just thought it was so funny when I watched it. She's like, you gotta keep like a steady time or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, right. It's that's like so like inherent in tap or whatever, right?
Well, and for me, like it's gotten to the point where that if I'm playing with someone who's not quite there, like I'll be able to be so aware that I can adjust to them messing up. So like when we've played guitar, when we've played music together and you play guitar, like you're pretty good at guitar. Like you still need to practice a lot, but you've been practicing.
I can play.
No, I'm saying you can play. But there's been some times where you've like missed or started early on the next bar or late or whatever, and then I catch that right away and I can adjust.
Right.
Whereas like sometimes if the person's not aware and they can't adjust, then it's just like crumbles.
Yeah.
So like I can help fake that too.
Follow the thing. But usually But usually when we're jamming out or whatever, I'm always trying some like funkier.
Trying something different.
Funkier version of like a R&B song or whatever. Yeah. Because like, I mean, I don't know. You could play four like bar chords and just keep like the 4x4.
Totally.
But if I'm like,
and it also changes when you have someone else playing with you who's doing an offbeat or doing something different, and then you're trying to focus on your simple thing, but then your brain doesn't always keep going. I was gonna say, like, if you have no rhythm, anyone out there, tempo, you can get it. I one of my mentors, he had so much faith in this one kid who was a bit older than me at the time, and in his entertainment, basically he had so much potential, but his timing was terrible. Like
give me an example.
Like what? He just couldn't keep time. Like he could pick up steps, he could do stuff, but when it came to just like keeping time, it would just like go all over the place or whatever.
Okay.
And so what he did was he was like, take this metronome app, or I think at the time there was no apps. It was just like a metronome, and he just literally like plugged it in and listened to that like 24/7 for I don't know, a month, and like just tick tock, just to instill that in him. And once he got that, then it was like game over. He was like destroying everyone because he was able to do the tricks, able to do the steps, had the stage presence, and then now had the timing. So he could stay locked in with any song or a cappella or musicians. And then he was like very successful at the time.
So for a month he listened to a metronome.
I'm pretty sure it was something like that or longer. I don't know. But it was just, he was like, just any spare time you listen to this metronome. And he did it, and then it worked. Like, because some people, they're like, I have no sense of timing. I have no nothing. Like, I'll never be able to. It's like, if you listen to that frickin' TikTok every day, you will.
So what you're saying is, if you want timing and rhythm, get a metronome.
Get a metronome app and just because then it will just be instilled in you. Like you just have the complete sense of it, and it's freeing once you do.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's like, that's so funny. Some serial killer shit right there. Did you imagine? Oh man, what are you listening to? And just like they put tick, yeah.
Straight up. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun once you are able to, and then you can play off beats and stuff. Getting into a little music theory today, folks.
Oh yeah, it's simple.
Easy.
It's easy. Yeah, it's simple. It's just this. You could try. Oh yeah, no problem.
Sounds easy to me.
Sounds easy to me. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Should we cut it here?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, it's time to hit the courts.
This is the court. It's a nice day, sunny in Vancouver.
It's a nice day, and it's time to get at it. So.
Episode 6. We're out of here.
We out. Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Right. Peace.